Now I know it says 8-year and some may be skeptical. Even I'm skeptical. In today's video we have this brand new 4Runner. It's a 40th anniversary version. It's interesting. Not everybody will like what's on this 4Runner, but it's in for our new car prep. We're going to wash it, decon it, polish it, and then coat it with an 8-year coating. 8-year coating? Is it going to last 8 years? It will if it's properly cared for. So before I pull it out, let's take a quick look at it. It came in yesterday. Ugh, yeah, there's lots of tree sap and water spotting, all sorts of junk. And it is kind of a toy. It's used for fun stuff, camping, fishing, hunting, all that. And again, it's a very unique anniversary version with these decals here, kind of reminiscent of the 80s. Some may like it, some may hate it. Really cool wheels, and also the emblems are all like bronzed out. Very, very cool. Interior is also going to be cleaned and coated. We're going to coat all of the plastics and leather and also the carpets. All of the interior will be cleaned and coated. It is, right? It's very interesting. I kind of like it. The owner did have a question about the vinyl. How long is that going to last? And you know, it's all up to how it's cared for. Does it stay out in the sun? All of those factors come into play. Usually vinyl like this, up to 10 years or so, it's going to come to a point where it just does not look good anymore, and it may need to be stripped off before it gets too dry and crackles. That would not be good because it would be very difficult to remove. And by then, you're going to have to replace it with something because you're probably going to have a fade, you know, demarcation there. So yeah, when it comes to decals, I'm not a fan of decals, just me personally, because of that factor that within 10 years, it's not going to look good. You know, maybe 5 years down the road, you're going to rip those off and put new ones on exactly in the same place. You know, keep that stuff in mind and make sure that you have decals or that they make aftermarket decals. All right, so we're going to pull this out, give it a wash because it is gross looking. And we're going to use the DIY's 8-year ceramic coating. Now I know it says 8-year and some may be skeptical. Even I'm skeptical of that because anything past 5 years, the car will probably need to be, you know, lightly polished or something like that. And who knows if the decals will even last that long. But it doesn't matter. It's what the customer is paying for. And we're going to put, you know, the best, longest durability coating on it so that they can get the most out of it. And as long as you take care of it, as long as you wash it properly and put at least some sort of appropriate toppers on it every once in a while to kind of help this protection last that long, then you'll be fine. It's all about maintenance. That's the key when it comes to any type of protection. Wax, sealant, and especially ceramic coatings, maintenance is key because they're expensive, and to apply them, there's a process. Take care of it. Maintain it properly. So if you have any questions about how we wash the vehicle from the pre-wash to the decontamination stage, then let me know down below. I'll gladly answer any of your questions. Or you can check out the rest of our channel and search for pre-washing videos. We have hundreds of them. Now we're going to move on to the polishing. Now we don't have to do a full paint correction here. That's not what the vehicle is in for. That's not what the customer is paying for. And if you want me to clarify why we don't do a paint correction on certain vehicles, again, just ask me down below. But think of it logically. If the customer isn't paying for it, why would we do it? Now with all of our ceramic coating services, we now only use primer polishes, specifically the Dr. Beasley's Nano Surface Primers, or NSP polishes, and they come in 3 different grades, 45, 95, and 150. And basically, it goes from a fine polish, a medium polish, and then a compound. And they can all be used interchangeably and with different pads depending on what you need to do to the vehicle.
Most times, we're simply using the NSP 45, especially on brand new cars. If we need to kick it up because there are some heavier swirls or a deep scratch, then we may use a microfiber cutting pad and NSP 150. But any type of polishing that we're doing on the vehicle is going to be gauged by what the vehicle needs and what the customer is paying for. It is never gauged by what social media dictates or by what we want to do to the vehicle. Once again, we're getting paid for a specific service. We're sticking by those standards.
So polishing is now done and it is looking fabulous. All of those imperfections in the paint are pretty much gone. There's a few little deeper ones there that even after wet sanding, I can still see a teeny bit. So a few kind of crackled into the clear coat already, but they're very minor and you can barely see them. You really have to search for them with lights to be able to see them. Wifey is working on tires and wheels and cleaning them, coating them, and making them look awesome. As you saw, we just finished doing the top there. Very, very annoying. We had to use the little 3-inch polisher and the hand applicator and just get around all those little edges there and underneath those things. It's going to be a pain to coat up there. I'm going to move on to polishing the glass and coating that. That way the glass is done, and especially the windshield. I'm polishing the windshield. I don't really need to polish the side glass. It's not really that bad, but the windshield I usually will polish to prep it properly because it gets the most junk on there from traffic, obviously. Let's polish it and coat it. So we're ready now for the 8-year coating. I'll show you how we apply this stuff. I'm also going to be using this little red foam applicator that came with the coatings as well. And Ivan likes to use this from DIY Details. So we're going to try it out. If I'm not feeling it, if I don't like it, I'll switch back to my other coating applicators. I just don't like the way that this feels on the paint, but let's work with it for a little bit. The way this stuff comes out of the bottle, it comes out really fast. Very fast. I'm going to do a small section here. And supposedly these use less product, these foam applicators. I just don't know if I like the application of it. And that's just me personally. But this stuff flashes very, very quickly. Oops, I forgot to put my respirator on. Hold on. I know. But I'm cross-hatching. This does feel, even though it squeaks a little bit, it does seem to be pretty easy as far as application goes. So this stuff will rainbow, and already it's kind of at that point. And the more I spread it, it started to flash away quicker. So that's good. Oh, I hate this respirator. So this is very, very easy to apply. It like self-levels itself. Super easy. I gave it maybe like 30 seconds tops. That's it. It could probably be less than that, maybe 20 seconds. Wow. All right. That was easy. And it seems to be playing nice with the Dr. Beasley's coatings, so that's good. And I'm kind of working it into the paint a little bit more. It seems to flash away better the more that you work it in. But you can kind of see it rainbowing there. It's kind of hard to focus on, but you can kind of see it rainbowing right there. You can wipe it off within that
20 to 30 seconds. Man, that wipes off very, very easily. And yeah, it's going into adjacent towels. Totally fine. I'm going to overlap anyway.
That's not good. My lungs actually hurt from breathing in this thing. I have to wash my hands immediately. Okay, so I have to say that this is a hardy coating. This is a hardy coating. It's definitely potent, the smell. So I know it's a strong coating, and I know it was developed to be a strong coating. This stuff was, I would say, on par with Crystal Serum Light as far as application goes. What it does to flash when wiping off is different. It rainbows instead of sweating like Crystal Serum Light. However, the removal is super fast and easy. It almost levels itself. That being said, you still have to level it. You still have to wipe it. Even if you let it sit on there for over 30 seconds, you can really see how there's just little rainbow areas here and there. And when you wipe it with the towel, it wipes off perfectly clean, and it's smooth. Not perfectly slick like Crystal Serum is right away. You give it about an hour, and now that I'm going back over this panel, it's been about an hour, feeling it with the towel, wow, it is very slick, extremely slick, just like Crystal Serum Light slick. And I know I'm comparing it to other coatings because I have to. I'm comparing it to things that I know and comparing it to things that I use most often. That way I can have a baseline and I can kind of help you understand. Because if you've been here long enough and you've seen all the different videos, we love Crystal Serum Light because of its durability, its ease of application, its gloss, its slickness, all of that. And I even just went over all of the plastics. And I did it at the end because when going over plastics, even though you wipe them down, the applicator will get a little grungy. It's just plastic, it's what it does. I have about maybe a third left in here, and this is only a 30 ml bottle. What Ivan says about using those old foam applicators, I have to say is true. It seems to use less, or maybe it's just my technique. I do large panels and I do stretch it out pretty thin. Some detailers are kind of weird about that. They're like, don't stretch it out so thin, you're not gonna get good coverage. I don't really believe in that. If the liquid's on there, the liquid's on there. And the particles and the SiO2 and all of that, the ceramic, it's all in there. You shake the bottle up a little bit before applying, and when you apply it, you're good to go. So you can stretch it out thin enough and it's totally fine. In fact, what I noticed is that it will actually kind of build up in the foam applicator. And if you feel it getting a little dry and squeaky, press it, like stop, press it in a little bit, and it actually pushes out more coating onto the paint. And then you can keep on gently applying it. I found that out, towards about the middle of the vehicle. Sometimes I'd push a little too hard on it and it would squeeze out more coating. It's kind of interesting. The microfiber applicator doesn't do that. It just kind of absorbs it and then that's it. But this, you can kind of squeeze it out. I was able to use a little over half a 30 ml bottle, 15 mils. That's really incredible for a 4Runner like this. All the paint, all the trim. So now that the exterior is done, we're going to coat the interior. We have the new Geist kit here, and this is actually the 3+ kit. This is actually made for older vehicles, well, 3 years or older. However, this does come with everything you need even for new leather. It has the cleaner, it has a conditioner, which you really don't need to use for brand new leather, but this is the most important part. This is the blocker. Essentially, it's an interior plastic and leather coating. So this will actually protect against dye transfer and friction, which is pretty awesome. And usually we apply a product like this on all of the leather and also on all of the plastics. So you can use whatever applicator you want. It does come with little towels that you can use to apply it. They're soft fabric-y towels. So you can use this or you can use an applicator. It just all depends on what you want to use. But our favorite way of applying these types of protectants Our favorite way to apply these types of protectants are on these little blue microfiber applicators. So of course everything is clean and dry in here, so simply apply it and just let it air dry. That's it. Very, very easy. Just make sure you get all of the leather, even application. Just make sure that it's all wet looking. It's not going to dry like that. It's not going to be shiny or greasy. It's just a blocker. It's just a ceramic protection that you're putting on that surface. And it can go on all of these surfaces, any of these plastic or leather surfaces. And as you see Wifey doing, she's applying it very close or pretty much right onto the applicator, and that's to basically eliminate any type of overspray. So this can be applied to the steering wheel, and even this area it can be applied to because it's not going to have any type of greasiness or anything like that, so that's totally fine. The dash you can even put it on, and all of the door panels as well.
Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell to get more videos like this, and check out the video that I'm going to put on the screen in just a moment. We'll see you guys next time.